Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. Um, I was debating whether or not I should make this video because I know how some of you feel about the OLEDs, and I know how some of you on the other side of the aisle feel about the OLEDs as well. You know how I feel about the OLED. I already told you that. I had three different types of OLEDs. I had B6, C6, and of course C7. So I had OLEDs when they were hot back then. Um, Now, I didn't have him for a long period of time. I had him for like maybe 6 to 7 months to test all three of them back to back, two generations of OLEDs. But on this video, I'm going to talk about the positives and negatives of the OLEDs. Now, one of the biggest positives of the OLED that I'm going to tell you here is obviously the picture quality. There's no denying, there's no question about that. Just like I said on my videos that I did for OLED, I made 40-minute video on C7, I made 40-minute video on C6, B6. There's no denying that OLED will give you that best possible picture quality. No one's arguing that. But at what cost? These things are expensive. This technology is expensive. And they do have side effects. They are fragile. I still stand by that statement. They are fragile. And I'm going to tell you why they're so fragile. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that the LED cannot be fragile. Sure, they can be fragile, but the odds of that happening are less likely than the odds with the OLED. With the OLED, you got a lot of potential of something happening because you have to babysit the TV. You have to keep it away from the sun. It has to be away from the moisture. You cannot bring that OLED light way too bright and keep it way too bright. Retention on the screen. And then if you have a high contrast and you watch OLED a lot and you keep that OLED light way too bright, guess what happens? Then you're going to have a burn-in. Now, there is a way to fix that burn-in. They do have a way of doing that, but most likely the scenario is you would have to get a warranty. So the title of this video obviously is OLED technology and why you should get a warranty before you buy it. Now, with any TV, any expensive TV, I think you should buy a warranty. There's no question about that. Anybody with any brain cells should know that. But with the OLED, I highly recommend that you get a really good warranty for 2 years. Just like my friend Wayne Struders did. He's lucky that he got that warranty. If he didn't have that warranty, he would be crying right now. I know, because he's my friend. I know he would be crying. But luckily he did, and he got B7. And he had, I think, B6. And he played a lot of games on it. He did a lot of tests on it in his videos, on his YouTube. And how long did it last him? A year and a half. A year and a half. That's not good, guys. You're going to spend that kind of money on a technology and you're going to use it a lot. You're going to watch a lot on it, and then a year and a half it dies. That's not good. Okay. And you guys can ask him. He had that TV. I think it was a B6. I think first generation. And after a year and a half, he died. Now he has a B7. I hope that he takes care of the one that he has. But luckily, he's got the warranty. And that's what I want to talk about here. You have to get the warranty, guys, with the OLEDs. Because it is a fragile technology. You have to have the basic understandings of what you are getting into. I'm not denying the fact that it's not going to give you a great picture quality. Yes, OLED will give you a fantastic picture quality. When you play God of War, it's going to look fantastic on it, especially in the A1E. That God of War is going to look fantastic. But you got to get that warranty. Now, I got a couple of websites here. I went to the source, okay, and this is from LG. This is from the source, and then telling you the facts about the OLEDs and burn-ins and OLEDs reliability. And I think everybody should go to these websites and learn about it. This video, it's also kind of useful for you to do your research, do your homework before you step into the OLED territory. Now, am I planning on getting an OLED? I am actually, as a matter of fact, planning on getting an OLED by the end of summer. I'm thinking about getting the A1E OLED because the new series of A1E are coming out this summer. So that means they're going to cut the price on the A1E 55-inch, and I'll probably end up with that one for like $2,000, whatever, or $2,200. So I'll go with that. But it's going to be like late August, something like that. All right, so, but then it would be a good addition for me to do a comparisons between OLEDs and LCD, LED televisions and projectors. It's only going to add to my channel. It's going to add more to testing. You know, I'll have more flexibility to test more and give you guys the pros and cons between the televisions. But there will be a warranty. When I buy that TV, I will get the best possible 2-year warranty with that A1E. All right. And people ask me why A1E I'm going to go with. It's because I already tested the LGs. I had 3 different types of LGs, so I pretty much am familiar with the LG OLEDs. I want to step into A1E. That would be a logical choice for me to go with. And the main reason I want to go with Sony, it's because of the X1 Extreme Processing chip that they have. Because of that chip, it's going to give me a much better performance on the OLED. And that's why. But here, let me just go to some of the stuff here. Like here, they talk about the organic light emitting diodes and the pros and cons. And here they even talk. This is on the LG website. This is straight from the source, not for some third party or whatever. It's straight from the source. And even here, they're letting you know about the fragility and the side effects of the TV, of this technology, because a lot of people don't seem to understand how organic light emitting diodes work, okay, or diodes. And here they talk about the image retention. Image retention is when you have an image stuck to a screen, almost like ghosting to a screen. When you continue playing a movie, you're going to see that retention of the character of the artifact. It's almost like an enclaved image, okay? And here they even talk about it. You know, any risk of burning or image retention have been addressed through the use of technology that only helps protect against the damage of the screen, but features self-healing properties so that any short-term image retention that may occur is quickly rectified. So what they're saying basically is they want to give you some tips on how to avoid the image retention. Now, the best way to avoid the image retention, it would be to avoid any kind of like screensaver. Turn that off on all your devices, including LG, and also to move the OLED light. Like another way to do it would be to move the OLED light to like 83%. This is why I always recommend that people move the OLED light to 83%. Okay. And also the good idea to do is to turn off your display and turn it back on if that does happen. Or you can use their built-in software to clean that retention. It might take about 10 minutes, whatever. So they're just telling you, see, even on their website, they're letting you know what are the things you need to understand, the negatives and positives, and they're letting you know. So everything that I tell you, like I told you in the previous video, it's nothing that's some bogus hocus pocus story. It's based on the facts, and they're even letting you know they're selling the TV, they're selling technology, but they have to let you know the side effects. You know, it's like when the pharmaceutical company is selling a drug. Sure, they want to sell it to you, they want to prescribe it to you, but they also have to let you know the side effects. So here they're letting you know what are the side effects, what you need to understand about technology. So it's all here. This is from their website. You guys can go on it just like I am. Everything I say here, you guys can Google, you can research. You know, I'm not selling snake oil. I have nothing but credibility on my videos, as you all know, okay? And you can also go to a ratings.com, and they talk about the OLEDs versus LCD and the burn-in tests. So Here they were looking at some patterns between the LCD and the LED, LCD, and OLED. And what they have come up with is a couple of tips on the ratings.com, which I suggest you guys go to the ratings.com, where they let you know how much of that OLED light you should have. And this was the main reason when I had my OLEDs, I always recommended people don't have that OLED light all the way to the maximum. You know, I mean, that's how you're going to screw up your OLED TV, and that's how your OLED TV is going to die. It's not going to die quickly, but over a year and a half of you having that OLED light set to brightest, you will see some burn-ins, man. Later on, you will see some stuff happening on that TV. You know, you'll see different orange, yellow, red color popping up out of the screen. You will see stuff. So it's very important that you keep that OLED light at like at 83%. And even the contrast, I would keep it at like maybe 93. I wouldn't go all the way to 100. Because remember, guys, this is not a backlit LED technology where you can crank that son of a gun all the way up. This is organic light emitting diodes, little tiny, tiny, tiny little diodes that they're emitting by themselves. And when you have them set to such stress at maximum brightness, that will happen. The burn-ins will happen because of that. Same thing with plasma, you know. They're kind of similar to plasma, but it's still a different type of technology, obviously. So there they are here. They were giving the conclusion and limitations of the tests. So I highly recommend you guys go check out the ratings.com. The reason I'm showing you this is because I want you guys to do your research. You know, I want you guys to go to these websites and do some homework before you actually buy an OLED. But my advice to you is, if you're going to buy an OLED, get that good warranty. All right, that's it. That's something you must do. If you purchase an OLED and you don't get that warranty, well, it's on you, man. Then it's gonna hurt when that TV goes bad, and that $3,000 that you spend on it's gonna really hurt. It's gonna really suck. You're gonna have a shitty day, probably a shitty month. So don't put yourself in that position and get a warranty. And it's really important that people understand I'm not against OLED. If you can find me a video where it says I'm against OLED, then I'll find you a alien with a glowing dildo, if you will. Because that video doesn't exist, you're not going to find it. That's not me. I'm just here to tell you the factual information. I'm here to tell you the truth about positives and negatives of OLED technology. OLED technology is a new technology, and it does require some understanding of how it works. And it takes some understanding so that way you can maintenance it and babysit it and take care of it. And if you go to these websites, they will give you the tips of how much OLED light, how much peak brightness, and how to fix the problem if it does occur. But all of these things, sometimes you forget, you know, because you're busy with your daily life. You don't have time to babysit your TV all the time. You forget sometimes, okay? You tweak around with the picture settings. And this is why the warranty comes in handy. If shit does happen, which there's a good probability it will happen after a year and a half. When that happens, when the day comes, with that warranty that you have, you'll be fine. So there's another website here, reviewed.com television. There's so many website you can go to, so many different sources. All right. And even here, they're explaining what the OLED burn-in is, and they're saying that sometimes used interchangeably, burn-in and image retention are essentially two sides of the same coin. Image retention refers to any image that sticks on a screen even when the content changes. It usually appears as a faint ghost, and with the most TVs fades after a moment or two. Burn-in is a form of image retention that lasts much longer, and it's usually visible even when playing other content. It's usually caused by leaving a static image on a screen for a long period of time. All right. Now, this is true, yes, when you leave it for a long period of time, but it's also true when you have that OLED light at the maximum and then you leave it on for the long period of time. Let's say you had to go somewhere, go to the kitchen, you had a phone call, like a half an hour phone call, whatever, man. Something came up and you totally forgot about your TV, and you totally forgot that you left your OLED lights to the maximum contrast, to the maximum, and you left the screen paused for about 25 minutes, and you keep doing that 3 or 4 times a week. In about 6 months, 7 months, you will see the results of that. You will see that burn-ins, retention of the screen. So, like, they're showing various of different tests. Now, there is a way to fix it, to fix the burn-in on OLEDs. Okay, there's a software actually that you can go ahead and take care of that retention. All right. Even says here, when we powered up an OLED after the weekend, we're planning to run through some of the short-term tests to see how quickly image retention can set in. This includes playing Destiny for about 45 minutes and letting the Xbox One S home screen run for about an hour. And you can see the retention right here. As we were playing, the image retention issues begin to clear up completely, even though the brightest elements. So there's a way to do it, but it depends on how many times you've been doing that, how many times you've been pausing the image. Remember, this retention, this burn is not going to happen right away, but it will happen throughout the months while you're doing this, and you will see it. And here's what they're saying, like at the end, what did we learn? After spending hundreds of hours working with the OLED television, the burn-in does not appear to be a major concern if you're a typical user. Image retention is at its worst when you first begin using your OLED, but it gets better with time. It's only visible under extreme circumstances. That said, if you leave any kind of bright static image up on the screen for an extended period of time, you're likely to see some image retention. If that happens, here's some basic steps you can take. Turn off the TV for 5-10 minutes. Resume typical use. Watch the content that doesn't have static elements. Be sure to turn the TV off and on every couple of hours. But you see, these things right here, this is something you will forget. This is what I was saying. When you buy this OLED technology, these are the things you're going to forget, because you're so busy with your daily life. You don't have time to remember all of this, and this is why I tell people, you got to understand how OLED technology works. You got to have some basic knowledge of this technology. And when I say fragile, that's what I meant. Is you spending money on a technology that is fragile if you don't know how to take care of it. Okay, and it takes a lot of babysitting with this TV. I know it because I had it. I had 3 different types of OLEDs. However, so you don't have to worry about it, so you don't have to cry about it, so you don't have to lose any sleep about it. The best logical thing to do, if you really want to have OLED and you love OLED, buy a warranty. So that's it. It's really that simple. Just buy a warranty. This video is not about me bashing OLED. I'm just simply letting you know you have to have some basic understanding of how OLED technology works. But having said that and knowing all that, it would be idiotic and stupid not to get a warranty with the OLED, especially with the OLED. Now, with any expensive equipment, any expensive TV, you should definitely get a warranty. But for OLED, it is a must, because it is still expensive and it is a very complex technology. I'm trying to, I guess, avoid the word fragile, but it is fragile. If it's not being taken care of properly, if it's not being babysit properly, it can be fragile. Okay, because it is a fragile technology. Even they're admitting it here. You know, there's consequences of how you use your OLED TV. All right. Now, I'm not going to go on this video through all the stuff, all the people reporting all these image retention, the burn-ins. Okay, I'm not going to go through that. You guys can look that up yourself. But I'm just here to tell you, if you're going to buy an OLED and you love OLED, you got to get that warranty. But first, have some basic understanding of how OLED works, so when you do get it, you can take care of it. That's number one. Number two, if you are busy and you're married and you have kids and you don't have time to be babysitting your TV all the time, because you know you're going to forget, man. You got so much stuff going on in your life. This right here for this TV, the most logical thing to do is get the warranty. So get the warranty with the OLED. That's what you should do. And this is a self-explanatory. This is a common sense for you to get a warranty on OLED TV. So that's all I have for you guys. This is pretty much self-explanatory. You should do this even without me telling you. But I'm telling you this because I want you guys to have some understanding. Because I know there's still some of you out there who believe that I don't like OLED. That's not true. You know, that's not true at all. I had my reasoning for returning my OLEDs because I wasn't sure if I want to invest $3,000, $4,000 onto a OLED TV with all this fragile technology that it has behind it. But now that I have better understanding of the OLED, I'm going to get, by the end of this summer, A1E 55-inch with a warranty. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a good one, though. Take care. That's all I have for you today.